Mm-hmm.
Ready?
Yep, whenever you are.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Gabby Doron, and I just want you to imagine for a second finding somebody on the ground who's doubled over and is just not responsive at all, has no pulse. Do you know what to really do? Well, being a first responder, I'm AED certified, and that would be your next step. And I feel like if you're exposed to knowing how to use it when it comes to an emergency situation, you'll feel more comfortable being able to do it. So today I'm going to teach you how, break it down into easy steps on how to use an automated external defibrillator. So you come across somebody who's on the ground, who you just have no idea what's wrong with them. You shake them, they don't wake up, and you're like, what's going on? You check them, no pulse. Well, first, if you come across somebody and they have an incapacitating injury, you're not going to treat that. Like if their head's cut off, or if they have something stuck in their chest, or their chest cavity is completely blown out, you can't use an automated external defibrillator. So the only people you can use it on is somebody who has no pulse, and you can try and save them. So the first thing you're going to do is check for a pulse. Check them, and they have no pulse. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to call 911. Because the last thing you want to do is somebody's injured and you don't call 911. And 10 minutes later, you're wondering where emergency services are and nobody's called them. So you're going to check their pulse, see that they're having an issue, and call 911. The next thing you do after you check their pulse and call 911, you're going to retrieve your AED machine. And usually they're located on the walls. Like if you go outside in the hallway, there's going to be an AED machine located on the wall there. You're going to retrieve your AED and bring it back to your patient. So once you get your AED machine, you're going to take it out of its packaging, and you're going to find a set of pads in the AED machine. You're going to plug the pads into the AED machine and turn it on. There's going to be a button on right in the front of the machine that you're going to click to turn on the AED machine. So when you're prepping the chest for your patient, you got to take their shirt off, whether you cut it off or you just rip it off with your muscles, and expose their chest. And if it's a hairy individual, you're going to have to shave their chest. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. It's a dry shave. Or actually, the Wilmington Police Department, they have AED machines that come with 2 sets of pads. One is actually a wax pad, so you take it off, stick it on the chest, and rip it off. And then you apply the other set. So, but every standard AED machine has this thing. I forget what it's called. But yeah, so once you prep the chest, also, if say you're at the beach and they're wet, you don't want to put an electrical on them and shock them when they're wet. So you want to dry the chest, or if they're laying in a pool, it can be blood, that's fine, or vomit, but you want to wipe it off and get them high and dry on a flat surface. You don't want them sitting in a pool of water and shock them. So after you prep the chest, you want to apply the chest pads. So the right hand is going to go on the upper right-handed side of your chest, R, rise. The left side is going to go on the lower side, right underneath the rib cage, and apply the pads, and you're going to push the button. So once you're shocking, well, first when you turn the machine on, it's going to analyze the patient and tell you whether or not you have to apply a shock or not. But if it says shock advisory, it's going to beep. You're going to clear, it's going to tell you to clear the patient and push the button, and it's going to shock them. So once you shock the patient, you're going to want to listen. I mean, if they come to and they're like groggy and stuff, you don't want to shock them again. You just don't do that at all. But then the machine might tell you that you have to shock again. So just stay clear, listen to the machine, don't panic, because the machine's going to tell you what to do. They're going to analyze their rhythm, heart rhythm. So, but the most important thing to do in an emergency situation like that is to stay calm. Because you don't want to be that person that's panicking and losing their mind, because you're not going to be any help. And you don't want the bystander effect when everybody's standing around looking at the person and wondering who's going to help them. Well, now you can help them, you can get your hands dirty. Because the worst thing you can do is nothing at all. So hopefully tonight, being exposed to this, next time there is an emergency situation such as somebody's heart is stopped, you'll feel more comfortable being exposed to this and be able to help them. Thank you.